Men, boys, what's up? Alright, so this stream may seem kind of out of left field. Let's just turn this down significantly. This stream may seem kind of out of left field, but I've talked about this game quite a bit, and I can't remember if I've streamed it before. I may have, but I wanted to do it again because about once every few months, I'm like, damn, I really want to experience this game again. So basically, I'm going to be playing a game called The Beginner's Guide, and what this game is about is pretty self-explanatory once you get into it. But basically, it's about like this dude who went missing, and you play through his games. He's like a coder or whatever. What the fuck? And he went missing, and no one knows why, or at least, you know, the narrator is like, oh, we don't know why. What the fuck's going on? And so this is going to be a bit more of a chill stream. I'm going to be narrating any of the bits that are not, you know, specifically voiced by the very talented, because he made the game too, and he also made Stanley Parable. I forgot the name of the dude, but he's very talented and is very, as the title of the stream says, #deep. And, you know, it's a bit of an indie darling, all this stuff, and I just figured it'd be a fun little thing to experience. So without further ado, let's play some fucking indie games. Alright. Bada bing. Bada boom. It should show up in a second. Unless if I'm, you know, schizophrenic, and there we go. Alrighty. I think it's all, yep, that's all set up. Cool. Begin the game. I played through this game a lot.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009.
No, Dizzy, it's not.
Really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative...
I want to turn on subtitles. Also, Dizzy, can you hear the narrator?
...works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's
Too much Fortnite?
I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to important
no, I'm not real.
Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing.
I'm actually like, you know, a Twitch plant to make it seem like they know people who are real. I'm not. I'm actually a figment of y'all's imagination.
Until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
It's
So
just a
thanks for
really
joining
lucky
me on this.
pre-recording.
If you have
Okay. So basic. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. It
particular
is.
interpretation
I thought you were
that I
asking about the
haven't mentioned
fucking
here, or
game.
if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's
I
about
think
it
that's
for
his real
introduction.
Gmail as
Let's
well.
take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Go get bitches. He's pretty nice. The narrator. Oh shit. Okay, okay. This is getting intense.
This game is called Escape from Whisper.
Oh,
and it's
E
one of
is
the
shoot
more
as
generic
well.
games you'll see from Coda.
You gotta go anyway, bruh. Alright. Bye, Dizzy. Imagine being British timeline. Good night, Dizzy. I need to break out the glass. What's going on? Spilling his cock out?
It kind of
Not
looks
your
like
fault.
this game was abandoned.
Just
mid-development.
bad, bad
For
RNG.
instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
I'm gonna move my camera to be bottom left so I'm not blocking the subtitles. That's the game. There we go.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that
This
it
game
is.
is a pretty good
And I think
thing
that
to
we should
watch
talk
before
about
bed.
these games for what they
It's pretty
are,
relaxing.
rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shoot
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
That's just how it is. Why are you shitting on Coda for that? That's just real. Right corners is how you beat mazes.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it.
Yep.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
You bitch, I was getting dedicated. What's the point?
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room.
Yo.
You could save us all.
Can't?
That beam is powering the Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Why? Because my juicy cock? Would that get in the way? I think it would.
Could you give yourself?
You know what? I claim to be a selfless man. There we go.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. I've gotta be selfless again. I gotta kill myself a second time. God, game. I mean, if you must. Oh. Wait, was there a way out of that maze?
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him.
There was.
Because yes, this is technically a glitch.
Oh my
but
god,
it
I was
identifies
I was
something
almost
human
there.
about it. Like how small
If I
it
kept
makes you
going, if that
in the face of
bitch
this
didn't stop
larger
me.
chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife.
Fuck you,
A
Davey.
peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this.
You can
and
see the
moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of
maybe not on
directions.
stream, but for me, I can see
Let's
the
go ahead
the
and take a
whites
look
of
at
the
the first
corners.
game he made after leaving this one behind.
Oh, that's funny. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Past was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
This is kind of a cool concept, honestly.
So it's a short
Future
and
cannot be
relatively
seen.
minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
Why does the
It is
future
less
keep
advanced
changing?
than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops, it becomes clearer. It's kind of visually cool. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends.
That's pretty
It didn't
deep.
need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That's what they say about me and your... When I visit your mother in a pottery class. You are now entering. Profound.
And that's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, the
Thank you,
meaning
Davey.
of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. I'll bear with you. I'll listen.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre
Nonsense in
titles like
nearly
this
every
one at the
direction.
start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Let me up. No, I'm turning into Joe Swanson.
Once
Please.
you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the
Please.
stairs opens.
I wish to go
So
up.
why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone,
I'm gonna bunny hop
why
up.
bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here.
Oh, it's
so that
making
when
me
you
go
press
down.
Enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed, so you can
No,
enter the door
I'm.
for yourself.
Oh, what? It makes me fall. It makes me fall sometimes. What the fuck? So bunny hopping is not viable. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I will do it. I don't give a fuck. Davey, you cannot stop me. I'm not gonna. Oh, my finger slipped and I hit enter. Oh, that was crazy. Sorry. Standing on X, staring at a bear for 3 hours. Game of only posters and concept art showing what the game is intended to be. Game where you collect items so that the game automatically quits when you
A
collect
room
them all.
That's warm and
Stranger
nice
appears.
and filled with little
You must address
ideas
and
for
rally a
games.
group of eager press reporters. That's foreshadowing. Ooh. Live on a boat,
Coda would
live on a
often tell
boat,
me that
taking
he
orders
didn't
from the
mind if
captain.
people
The
thought of
captain
him
is
as
always
cold
wrong.
or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that.
The key in
It
one
can be a
game
very slow climb to get there.
unlocks a door in a completely separate game. You start in a small room until you realize you can just walk through the walls. That's kind of cool. That's kind of sick. NGL, that's pretty sick.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Look at this. I
Go
played
ahead and
this
see if you
game.
can solve it.
I can do this. Oh boy. That's crazy.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
It's
We're gonna see it a
like
lot.
riding a bike for me.
So that seems to be it, right?
Yeah.
You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Oh,
Alright, now I'm
Peter,
going to modify
there's
the game
nothing to
again,
do in
so that
here.
when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this
I'm
room.
completely fulfilled with what I see before me. Oh no, my finger slipped. I hit it. Oh no. Ooh. That's fucking cool though. That probably took a long time to model and shit.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
Yeah, they're the same concept, the exact same concept. Shit you can't see, you think it looks boring. Sorry, Davey. Oh. Gravel. I'm now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
So I've played this game, right, already. I have. And narrator's saying some pretty sussy baka things. Pardon my French. I think I've gone up the side.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Fuck.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all
but I'm
engines,
Joe Swanson.
Source has certain things
oh my god, I can go in
and
here.
it has
I
certain
can.
Things that it does
I'm taking a
poorly.
shit. I'm taking a shit.
One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Shut up, I'm taking
That's
a shit.
why so
That's
many
all
of Coda's games are set in these
whoa.
large, flat,
Whoa.
empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Close the door after me. I'm being
The tools
polite.
available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
It's so fun. This is epic. I wish every game was like this. Fuck good game design. This is fantastic game design. Oh. There's some tomfuckery going on here. Oh. A predetermined path. Something about linearity or whatever the fuck he was talking about with the Source engine.
Funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
But that's so
This is something
epic.
that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
Everyone, hundreds. Bro, that's not okay. I'm gonna be honest.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Let me out.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
The beginning bit is kind of fuzzy to me. Yo, alright. You there, did he come up from up above? Alright, I'm gonna change my camera positioning. There we go. And now I'm blocking chat. Fuck. I'm just staying up here. I don't give a shit about the subtitles.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system.
You there?
He
Did
fashioned
he come
out
up
of
from
the
above?
NGS chat capabilities.
Did he
Use
come
the
from
1,
up
2, 3
above?
buttons on your
What was up
keyboard
there?
to respond.
Alright, I need to get Twitch open as well. Yes, it was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Or yes, there were these floating colored blocks. That sounds pretty cool. I'm going to talk about the blocks. That's the world above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing we did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you do not want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get up there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Zam. That's pretty hashtag deep. Oh, this... Hey, bro, there's some dude that wouldn't shut the fuck... Oh. Hello, how'd you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. Zam. Alright. So there's some tongue
so
fucker.
We make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Some shit's gonna be down here. This game is filled with a lot of really cool imagery. I know this game isn't based on a real story, but if it was, I would really like to meet
I can't
Coda.
tell you quite why, but for some
He's
reason,
pretty cool.
Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay, cool. So, now there's like a little motif going on with that gay-ass lamp. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes? I didn't read that bit. I was yawning. Nice room. Not okay. That's a pretty good one. People are fucking savages, is what I'm realizing.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this.
How do you
but
beat this
game is
game?
not connected to the internet.
No point to
All of
this.
the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him
Whoa.
at a
Holy
weekend game
shit.
jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working
Can you
on
guys
this
hear
very
me?
level, and it was just so different from anything that
Hello.
anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends
Reasonable.
with this person. In retrospect, I think I
Everyone
was
read
probably
this.
a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention.
This
I was
place
over
makes me sad.
enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very
There's one that
patient
says
with me.
balls. I remember there one
And I
being saying
cooled off
balls. Define fun. I'm
Oh,
king of the
Feel free
world.
to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all
Yes! Balls.
Way,
Finally.
community convey a sense of
Finally,
purpose.
balls have been
I
put
see
into
this
video
person
games.
who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
What the shit
But it's
is this
ironic, isn't
cavern?
it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
Sailors.
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just
Yeah.
play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Oh my god, balls. Balls, everyone. Finally, balls. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Cabbage. So, this is pretty fucking... I think I'm... This is not going anywhere. They're a pretty good job at encapsulating how fucking weird the internet can be. Painting, what does it mean? I think it means balls. That's the only thing it can. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Damn. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret. He kept it well. But it was gay. I beat the game. Holy shit. More room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the
Scareframe.
puzzle again. And
Can't
here,
jump down.
I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these
Escape,
games
escape,
represents an
escape.
idea that was on Coda's
He
mind
cut it
at
up
the time
and
that he
spread
was
it
making
between worlds.
And the puzzle
Almost
is a way
there.
of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Is it? Downward.
In
Keep
each
digging.
Of these games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda
You
can then
close your
place
eyes
this
and
puzzle
wish for it really
that he
bad.
knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces,
Heading back
before
to
you
the
move
start
on,
later,
you get
guys.
to pause,
Guys, it's not so bad in
just
here.
for a moment,
No
a
answer?
few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step
final
back
ball.
and connect the pieces together.
The final
To
ball.
grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
How do you leave notes? Oh my goodness, it's a lamp. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, speak, speak. And then I'm not saying. Damn. It's pretty crazy.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
What do I do? Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck? Have I done this? Have I played this one before? Yeah, I have.
See, like, this is it.
Ooh.
The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway.
I hit
Except
E on
for
that
some
painting,
reason, Coda gets really fixated on
and
this
then it
prison
happened to
that has
open
all
at
of
the
this
same time,
modern
and I thought I
furniture.
did something crazy.
And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Oh, there's nothing here. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? That's not what I... Okay, now about what along the wall of the room? 10 stoves lined along the wall. Those aren't stoves, jackass. I think we should light up this room a bit. Tesla coils. That'd be so epic. Ooh. Table. You need a table. Bro, I already have. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? Oh. Oh, goodness.
There's a bit more to this
My
one, but
days.
still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness.
I'm following it.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay. Guides will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take what you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click on it to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa. Move it a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. I would like very much to be taken back to my prison.
And of course, now the table is gone.
I can't start it.
Begin the chain of events to escape.
I can't follow the instructions. It's not the beginner's guide to prison
Bars, but you
escapes.
can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
What the fuck?
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this.
What?
To see a person basically unraveling through their work.
Some of these are kind of cool.
And
What do you
for
mean?
Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda
Didn't he do these for like free? Like these are passion projects.
Mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something, and he likes it, and that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created, and the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Then it's not a prison game, dipshit. Oh, goodness. A hedge fund. It's all atmospheric. This game is so fucking pretty sometimes. Just like in its simplicity. Oh. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation.
Yep, I was in the
so
furniture
this
maze.
is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone.
Can you
to
shut up,
share what's
Davey?
on
I'm
his
having a
mind,
conversation with
and
myself.
To get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even
Can
in
you-
this scenario, you're still
I'm
talking.
talking.
To yourself.
I'm gonna wait till you're done. I'm
You
gonna
know,
wait till you shut the fuck
all
up.
of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Are you done? Thank you. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I got out eventually. What's it like to escape? It's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in the prison. Why? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. True. Maybe I only like things once I don't have them anymore. I do that too, I guess. But is that just how I'm gonna be forever? I'd really like to change that. Maybe? Wait, if you're me, then did you get the call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped, which is true. What did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? All they told me was to be sincere. What? That freed you? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I
Zan.
can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
This is my favorite game, and this is my favorite Coda game. So relaxing.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Though I thought I might have to be cleaning this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows how lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous.
Don't worry
games,
about me. A
including
place this nice,
new
I'll be
and
glad to
improved
stay
chat
here all
system,
night.
which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work. And this particular game
I want
took 2
to
months
pay
create.
attention to the dialogue, Davey. Shut the fuck up. Well, now you don't just be getting a little ahead of yourself, no? No. Why don't you start cleaning and then you decide on whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, you could you please clear the table? Boop. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom, make the bed? Yeah. This is a really good song. While you're in there, why don't you straight out the rug a little bit? All the little details matter. Did you enjoy being house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I kind of feel calm that rests in the pit of my rib cage. My soldiers can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, and that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten up the pillows on the sofa out there? Do all the work, asshole. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. Where? Oh, ooh. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No, it was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? Need to be perfect. No need to be perfect. We're all just human. Are there books still scattered across the floor on the bedroom? If so, would you please put them back on the shelf? Yes. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear the dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games,
Oh no.
this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Are all houses this easy to clean? Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses, and among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences, and none of them will be the ones that were easy. Just something to think about while you smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
Really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time.
Grossly?
Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying up a bit? Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was gonna say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Just, let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows on the couch are a real mess. You go over and straighten them up a bit, you can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Question.
But,
do you
of
enjoy
course,
this?
It can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's
I was
how you
very
stay alive.
relaxed. Well, there is truth to what Davey said. I think if you find, personal peace doing something, and there's no harm in doing it forever,
Which is the
there's
whole
nothing
point
wrong
of
with
the
that.
puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
What if you're fucking wrong?
This one
Items you
gets a
love
bit
at
beefy.
members only prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, "Wow, this person is a better human than I am." Right now, who do you think about your way in that life? About that way in your life? Who do you know that is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It's so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game,
Being perfect
perspective
is
shifts.
effortless. Oh. Kids should not follow their
And you
dreams.
play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you
I
can
still
move
love
around the
you.
classroom
It's
now.
just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Drinking is not hurting my life. Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Did anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Holy shit, you guys are seeing something. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! Everyone, run! Run!
I felt pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took
It's
him to
getting on
make
you.
any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Alright, let's begin some guides. Shit. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you will start up leaning against this wall. Good, stay right there. The woman across this room is in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That is not a conversation. You will actually need to converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I like you. No. That is not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of this conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh. Okay, yes. Now this is working. This is what it was like.
Premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to
That's
fears of
perfect.
having to perform
Wonderful.
and
This is
having to
really
chase success,
wonderful.
The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago.
You're doing
Where
great.
it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify
Yeah, this isn't necessarily
just
good.
disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Morbius tip? Morbius tip? A Mobius tip. Oh my god. I got so excited. You know what? It says Morbius. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Oh, yeah, my eyes are closed. Yeah. What's going on? Captain, what can we do? Help, I'm blind! Please, someone talk to me. Speak something that is honest. My work is always fun. So I have to go up here.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. I don't feel like it
Like I
anymore.
said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been
Keep
this
going, keep
explicit in his
talking.
work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
I can't figure out how to say the thing. You're doing it. It's working. I'm alone. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Maybe it's because he put effort into it, jackass. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been such a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no! What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I can take you to
If
it,
the
but there's a
last
problem.
game featured Coda talking explicitly
Started by
about
difficult
his creative
puzzle.
frustrations. This one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this.
Help me solve
Here's
the
a
puzzle,
friend
we'll find the
whose
machine.
work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression,
Deal.
even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore.
But you asked him to. You're acting like it's insane that he didn't make games for so long.
Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this
What
was
do
a
you
result
think?
of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble.
I recognize
just
this.
sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone
First you have to
outside
open
of
the door.
himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
I have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here. That was so simple.
You
Can't believe I never
talk
solved it before
yourself
this.
out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Okay, here we are. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. To say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Alright, making games is effortless. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Just keep saying that creation is easy. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I
Just
hated
never
it.
stop creating and
I
you'll
hated
never feel
seeing him
bad.
so true. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
None of this is
someone I
helping.
really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him
Patience, you
create.
have to trust me.
For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Pain breezes effortlessly off of me.
I don't
Yes, more. Keep
know.
going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
That I have no shame,
I wanted
no
it to
fear,
stop more than anything.
and no guilt.
I never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Sir, will you pull your dick out? No, I will not. Nope. You stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped feeding us. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go out and apologize to them. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. Alright then. I will speak to them for you. My friends, I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us show it. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy everything the machine has created. Oh shit. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Isn't that what you're scared of? Having to live without your precious creations? Having to deal with yourself?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
This is fucked.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
You piece of shit. So he published. No, he showed Dizzy's games to. I fucking. Coda's games. I'm bad with names. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need.
How about
to
you
be told
fucking
that my
talk
work
to
is
him,
good,
dude?
that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix
This isn't how you
If
help
I could
people,
give him this
dipshit.
gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
I'm gonna beat up Davey.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower.
Oh boy.
And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Fucking hate this guy. It's pretty obvious so far that he's just like kind of a weird dude.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Alright, poggers.
Except that all the
Uh-oh.
walls of the maze are invisible.
Ruh-roh.
And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant
that's
to be
giving me a
played, it
headache.
actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the level, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
It'd be kind of crazy if they actually put a whole ass maze in this.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I
What?
had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
What?
But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why
You
this is
didn't
here.
talk to him during any of this?
I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Fucking social security number. That's me up. Thank you.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Maybe you're
So
not supposed
even
to
if you
fucking
somehow
solve
brute-forced
it.
your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Damn.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
Yeah, because you're a fucking asshole.
It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
3 dots? I don't remember.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Maybe when you published his fucking games. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest
I'm
in
the
my...
reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually
My
felt...
chair's a piece of shit.
It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I'm making these games for you. You've so infected my personal space that it's
And
possible.
The people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
That I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people.
Fuck you.
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
Would you simply
What does
let them
that
be
mean?
what they are? When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something that I cannot give to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work.
You cunt.
Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Oh, man. Okay. That was a lot. I've played this game probably like 3 times now. It's my 3rd time. That bit always
More.
fucks me up.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
So,
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
So this dude's a piece of shit. But this isn't the real Davey. I think his name is Davey. I can't remember his
Even
name.
now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
But I think anyone can relate to this man on a deep level. To Davey. On like a fundamental, everyone makes mistakes. People get depressed, all that.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Like, this is a very raw an honest look into the, at least I like to think that this is what a lot of human psyches are like. Either way, this game speaks to me.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Although still one of my favorite fucking gaming sequences ever is the cleaning house bit in this game. It's really fucking cool. Really relaxing. And it may be me seeking catharsis in little bits. Being too pretentious about, you know, a Source indie game. But I think it's cool. Let me up. There we go. There we go. And all this, I think, was made by Davey. I don't think in the game lore or whatever this bit was made by Coda. But and no, and this is a story, but in this story I feel very sympathetic to Coda. Because there's just like this dude who fucking like hates himself and, you know, really wants Coda to also hate himself so that he can feel himself in someone else's art. But that's not how life is. And so Coda is like, dude, I'm just a gamer. I have LGBT lights, leave me alone. Also, this is symbolic because, you know, in the beginning it was like, oh, Coda originally had it float up, but then when you went in the after, it died because I edited all this shit. So if you go in this, and it depends, and like it's a symbolic of whether or not this is what Coda would want. And you start floating. Just a big old maze. And I don't think it leads anywhere. That was the beginner's guide. This is a really good song. The one that's about to play.
Turn back. Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles
powerful shit. I didn't think I'd play through the whole game on stream. Yeah, this game means a lot to me. I first started playing it when I was not in a great headspace, about a year and a half ago. And it's fucking amazing. And more people, sorry about after that bit, now it's like this. But, and more people definitely should, you know, play this and should see this and experience it, because it's a very honest look into what I perceive to be the average human psyche, because, you know, he's like trying to find himself in other people, blah blah blah, trying to understand if they can relate to him, and so he ends up actually hurting someone else because of it, because of his like overzealousness and all this stuff. But all of it is well intentioned, but he still fucks up, and he still is he is a piece of shit, the main character, the voice actor, Davey Reed. And yeah, it's a really good, and it also is a good interpretation of how art is very, very much up to interpretation. But sometimes when people interpret shit, it is them putting in their own biases, and so it's like it's really fucking cool. It's like a kind of bad side to the common phrase of like art is subjective and all that shit. And you can take it in the wrong way. You can take it in a way that you perceive as good, but it's still the wrong way, because you're not the person who made the fucking art. So, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna work for a few days, and then I might stream again. I don't know how my schedule is gonna be. I hope I'm gonna be free. You know, I get off late night shifts and shit like that. So have a good night, folks. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.